was denn? Ja, macht ja nicht so schlimm. Hast Pizza was draufgestreut gehabt? Hast draufgestreut? Hast Pizza was draufgestreut? Ne? Nein. Ja, drauf gestreut ist, ja. So, da bin ich jetzt. Ich bin gerade rausgeflogen aus dem Twitch. Nicht wundern. Geht da jetzt weiter.
It's not as nice as my truck back in '86. Jeez, I hope I still have a truck back in '86. Way too far to go on foot. I wonder how Doc's coming with the DeLorean.
Hallo, willkommen zurück. Ich bin gerade rausgeflogen aus Twitch, nicht wundern. I'm Twitch.
A diamond, furs, and a picture of Emmett. That shouldn't be too hard.
Übertragung, Now I'm weg. Bin wieder da, weil Twitch hatte eben eine Unterbrechung, Verbindung unterbrochen. Naja, mal gucken. Und nebenbei ist noch Pizza, nicht wundern.
Ah, good. You're back. Give me the full report.
She says she likes you because you've got a virtuous mind, you look good in a suit, and you're completely faithful to her.
Damn, she's got me dead to rights. Well, you'll just have to find a way to change her mind.
Kommt nix.
I'll be here if you need any help. Do you need any help?
Have you figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possible.
Bilder, nicht Haare.
It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double-checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well,
We played Back to the Future, Episode 4.
time circuits.
Listen, I promised I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving under
Not wondering, I'm eating.
Tell you what,
Pizza.
I'll take it on a test drive 1 minute into the past.
Okay.
If it passes the test, I'll
At
let you
12
borrow.
o'clock pizza eating is not so good.
It worked! Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time lag wasn't
Okay, konnte noch 6
entirely
Stunden
a waste.
zurückreisen, das ist
I
doof.
stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
A what?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Hey, no driving the exhibits off the lot!
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
Ein neuer Versuch, ja. Zeitreise hat nicht geklappt gehabt gerade. Wie er machen wollte. Sollen 6 Stunden nur zurückreisen. Hat nicht hingehauen. Hello, welcome back.
Pleasant dreams, Hill Valley. And the Expo would like to remind you that you can find everything you need to transform your dreams into reality at Hal's Hardware. Hal's Hardware, serving our fair city since 1895.
Okay.
The century looks bright for our fair metropolis. Jump with us 50 years into the future for a peek at Hill Valley circa 1981. Courtesy of Hal's Hardware and the collective imagination of mankind. Could this be our venerable town square? Yes, indeed. Though the form looks strange and new, the function remains the same as ever. But where are all the people? Why, they're underground. Of course, our residents will want to venture forth into the fresh air occasionally, giving future Hill Valley excursions and million citizens in this elevated space to work, play, and raise their families.
Nice rock, but I can't reach it.
And after the rain, what else? An artificial rainbow, reassuring all the good people of Hill Valley that their needs are taken care of, and life is sweet.
Okay.
Nice rock, but I can't reach it.
Nochmal.
And after the rain, what else? An artificial rainbow, reassuring all the good people of Hill Valley that their needs are taken care
Nice
of,
rock,
and life
but I
is
can't reach
sweet.
it.
Mist. Was versuchen
Of
mal?
course, our residents will want to venture forth into the fresh air occasionally. And what better excursion
Hallo,
than a
willkommen zurück.
pleasure ride in
Welcome
this
back.
elevated super train of tomorrow?
Okay.
The century looks bright for our fair metropolis. Jump with us 50 years into the future for a peek at Hill Valley circa
Back in
1981.
86, I could just skateboard from
courtesy
Doc's
of
lab
Hal's
to the high
Hardware
school.
and the collective imagination of mankind. Could this be our venerable town square? And yes, we would like to remind you that you can find everything you need to transform your dreams into reality at Hal's Hardware. But where are all the people? Hardware. Serving our fair city since 1895. A network of boroughs extends a mile into the earth, giving future Hill Valley's 10 million citizens plenty of space to
Can we
work,
make?
play, and raise their families. Of course, our residents will want to venture forth into the fresh air occasionally. And what better excursion than a pleasure ride in this elevated super train of tomorrow?
My future wouldn't be built so shoddily.
Ist runtergefallen.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Corleone. It's no skin off my nose. Just keep away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I better go see what's keeping him.
Ich habe gerade einen Wagen geklaut, der auf dem Skateboard drauf stand. Ja. Ein Skateboard kann man immer gut benutzen. Vor allen Dingen, Martin McFly kann ein Skateboard gut gebrauchen. Gut gebrauchen, meine ich.
I'll go check on him for you. I was just heading there anyway.
No, you weren't. The last thing he needs is another distraction at the 11th hour.
But...
Tut tut. Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but... Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Nee.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interests. You see,
Hallo, willkommen. Zurück.
Let's go somewhere where we can talk privately.
go. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
Was flüstert ihr? Aber ich habe nicht gehört, was gesagt hat. Gucken. Ich habe jetzt ein Skateboard, oder? Mal schauen. Ja, Skateboard. Und mit so einem Skateboard kann man doch einiges machen, bestimmt. Mal gucken. Nur was? Du brauchst einen neuen Fahrwagen. Das habe ich doch. Gerade gekriegt. Durch die Stadt zu... Okay. Mhm. Habe ich ja schon, das Skateboard. Ja.
Trixie?
I'll do it! I'll make that blue-nosed bitty eat her heart out! it.
That's great. I got it all planned out. When Emmett shows
But we
up...
gotta do it my way.
Huh?
I'm no good with improvising, and I ain't gonna memorize no lines. But I was in this play once. The Parliamate's Predicament. I figure I could lift a scene from that.
Okay.
Only, I need a few props.
Why am I not surprised?
Some furs, a big diamond. It doesn't have to be real, understand?
That makes it easier.
And something from this friend
Will
of
die Perle
yours,
haben.
Emmett. Has he got a photo album?
I don't know.
Will die Perle
Probably.
haben.
Better bring it to me.
Furs,
Die
a
auf dem
diamond,
Dings
and
darauf
Emmett's
steht.
photo album. And then?
Sit back and watch the fur fly.
Nein, die Perle brauchst du jetzt. Ich will die Perle haben.
Pleasant dreams, Hill Valley. And the Expo would like to remind you that you can find everything you need to transform
Geht da
your
oben.
dreams into
Nice
reality
rock.
at Hal's Hardware.
can't reach it.
Hal's Hardware,
Ja, auf jeden Fall will
serving
sie
our
haben.
fair city since 1895. The century looks bright for our fair metropolis. Jump with us 50 years into the future for a peek at Hill Valley circa 1981. Courtesy
Hallo,
of Hal's
willkommen,
Hardware
12
and the
Leute.
collective imagination
Schön.
of
Hello, welcome
mankind.
back. 12
Could
people,
this
nice.
be
When you
our
like, you can
venerable
subscribe
town
or follow.
square? Yes, indeed.
And you can
Though
also
the
donate
form looks
it
strange
and
new, the function
donate
remains
my
the same as
channel.
ever. But
Twitch
where
channel, it's
are
very
all the
nice when you
people?
like.
Why, they're
And nice to see so many
underground.
people on my
A
stream.
network of burrows extends a mile into the earth,
Right.
giving future Hill Valley's 10 million citizens plenty of space to work, play, and raise their families.
Ja. Ich
Of
brauche den
course,
Diamant.
our
Wie komme
residents
ich
will
daran?
want to venture forth into the fresh air occasionally. And what better excursion
Ja,
than a
ich
pleasure
komme eben auch nicht
ride in
dran.
this elevated super train of
Nee, das ist normales Skateboard.
tomorrow? Agricultural advances will make it a breeze to feed our burgeoning population. Tired of waiting for Mother Nature to do her job? Just press a button. Presto! An artificial rainstorm drenches the valley's thirsty crops.
Nochmal. Der macht doch nichts. Das ist haben und kriegst du dann halt.
Agricultural advances will make it a breeze to feed our burgeoning population. Tired of waiting for Mother
Slow
Nature to do
down.
her job, Hill Valley? And the Expo would like to remind you that you can find everything you need to transform your dreams into reality at Hal's Hardware. Hal's Hardware, serving our fair city since 1895.
Just borrowing it.
I have it, I have it, I have it. Pizza ist kalt.
Voila.
Say, pretty snazzy for a phony rock. Gimme. Keep that up, and I may take a real shine to ya.
I'd rather you take a fake shine to Emmett.
I'm working on it. How about the furs in the photo album?
Weiß
I'll
ich
get
nicht,
him to you.
ob's reicht. Ich will diese Pelze haben. Oh. Pelze will sie jetzt haben. Pelz? Ja, ich habe keine Ahnung. Nicht zufrieden.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, good. He's back.
Hey, what's with your teeth?
My teeth?
Yeah, they're green.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You still cheesed off at Trixie?
Yeah, but I'm more cheesed off at whoever got her fired.
Oh. What kind of stuff have they got you hauling here?
Es dauert,
How
dass
the
die
heck would I
Feuerturm
know?
ist.
Electro this, robo that,
Das Trixie
dynamo
feuert,
the
ist
other.
sauer
It's
drüber.
all Greek to me.
Stay out of trouble, cue ball.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Nein, das ist, weiß ich warum. Einfach so, wir einen Pelz haben. Ich weiß noch nicht, woher ich den Pelz nehmen soll.
Hey, Artie.
Hey, Mr. G-Man. How's the, undercover operation?
If everything goes as planned, we should be wrapping real soon now.
It's time for me to play my part. Just say the word.
Welcome back. Willkommen zurück.
So you're the registration guy for the expo?
And chief accountant and paymaster.
Hey, you're coming up in the world.
And none of it would have happened if I hadn't responded to that subpoena.
You haven't met
Hä?
Sylvia yet, have you?
My
Keine Ahnung,
contact
wen.
person?
Weiß ich nicht.
Not yet.
Wurde nicht gesagt.
Is he or she at the expo?
I don't think so, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a she. Think the Hill Valley Expo will be a success?
I don't see why not. Why shouldn't California have its own high technology center?
Keep your eyes open for Sylvia.
What should I do when I meet her?
Just let nature take its course. Why'd you have to go and fire Trixie?
You think I wanted to? It's illegal for me to knowingly hire a Canadian for the job. And I don't want to be in trouble with the law again.
Ich habe gefragt, warum er Trixie gefeuert hat. Weil er glaubt, das geht nicht, dass eine Frau was machen tut, was nicht erlaubt ist.
I don't suppose you miss working for Kit Tannen.
No siree, Bob. I don't know how I ever got mixed up with an abusive, gun-toting thug like that. He
Wie
even
läuft's
stiffed me on
ohne
overtime
Tannen,
pay.
also ohne den Dieb, also ohne den Verbrecher, will er nichts sagen.
Keep
Aber
doing what you're doing, Grandpa.
Grandpa?
That's our, code name for you.
Oh, ha! Funny.
ich muss, glaube ich, durch Straße fahren.
Hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup.
Jetzt fahren wir Skateboard am Auto bestimmt. Ja, sag ich doch, wie immer, wie in alten Filmen.
Emmett?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Kid wurde verhaftet. Kid 10
What
wurde
the hell is
verhaftet.
Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the Expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby
Hallo und
is just as
welcome
good.
to
Okay,
Back to the
so
Future,
now what's next?
Episode
Check
4.
the stew, sort the maps.
Nice to see
Ooh,
you.
I almost forgot that.
Oh, hier.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now, in love with the woman of my dreams, and a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
The mind of a degenerate criminal.
It's Kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind map helmet.
You could tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
Phew.
Ugh. Did the clamp fall off again?
Yeah.
Put it back on. Oh, I don't even know why I keep that bacteria tank around. Every time the clamp falls off the nitrogen tube, it takes a couple of minutes before I can get the stench out of the air. Whew.
What's this?
That's a can of used motor oil, rocket fuel waste, and assorted chemical sludge left over from my abandoned rocket car.
Gross.
Accounting doesn't enter into it, but it is disgusting. Would you mind disposing of it on your way out?
Sure. Hey, Emmett, what's cooking?
That's an old Brown family recipe for Hassenpfeffer.
Hassenpfeffer?
Rabbit stew. The trick is to add the cumin an hour after the carrots. Take a
Hasenpfeffer.
whiff.
Hasenpfeffer essen. Als Rezept nach Emmett Braun.
Isn't that just
Also nach
about the
Braun, nach
best thing
Braun.
you've ever smelled in your life?
It's, powerful, yeah.
I've got it on a slow boil for later.
Das ist der schönste Duft, den du jemals gemerkt hast. Nein, der ist sehr stark. Hat er drauf gesagt.
What's this?
It's the placard we'll be putting in front of our booth at the expo.
The scientist that caught Kid Tannen?
Small exaggeration, but Edna says it'll attract investors. What do you think of the picture?
Welcome. Back.
You look a little... constipated.
What? Edna said I looked intense.
Yeah, intensely focused on taking it.
I get the picture. I'll have to find a better one. Unfortunately, there's a lot to choose from.
Heavy.
Extremely. Mother has been rather obsessive about photographing and cataloging my
Als
life.
Fotoalbum von ihm. Ja, ich gucke jetzt mal da rein. Vielleicht ist da ein Bild von alten Filmen drin. Mal gucken, wo ist denn das jetzt, das Buch? Ist das hingelegt? Nee, das ist auf den Tisch geworfen. Da liegt es da auf dem Tisch, sag ich doch.
Hey, Emmett, I've got an idea.
What?
Why don't I take your photo album over to Edna so she can pick out your new picture?
That's a great idea. She's got a better eye for these things than I do anyway. Thanks, pal.
Don't mention it.
Musik?
I Don't Care by Trixie Trotter?
Edna doesn't approve of that sort of music, but I find it very soothing. Oh.
Hey, Emmett, I've got to go out for a while.
Ja.
I thought Edna sent you to make sure I wasn't getting distracted.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Oh, die Expo ist geöffnet? Nee, doch nicht. Was wollt ihr haben?
I brought Emmett's photo album like you asked.
Let's see.
Nee, was Buch wollt ihr haben?
Gee, he's not bad looking. In an egghead kind of way.
Remember, I don't want you seducing him for real.
I ain't a cradle robber, kiddo. Now bring me those furs, and we'll be in business.
Hi, Trix.
Oh, hiya, kiddo. Say, wouldn't it be easiest if I just march up to that Strickland dame and give her a smack in the puss?
Well, it would be fun to watch, but it wouldn't get her to break up with my friend Emmett.
Oh, right.
So, you got everything you need for your big scene?
I'm working on it. Bring me those furs,
Hello.
and we'll be in business.
Furs donated by Lamont's House of Ermine. At least they're going to a good cause.
Hallo, willkommen zurück.
They're stuck tight in this tar.
Muss ich mal gucken? Knopf drücken.
Times may be hard in Hill Valley, but our present worries fade into insignificance when we ponder our Pleistocene past. Is the wolf knocking at your door? Be glad he's not a Tyrannosaurus, king of the ancient lizards. And if you find yourself drowning in debt, well, you could be drowning in something a whole lot stickier, like the Hill Valley tar pits. This peek into the distant past is brought to you by Lamont's House of Ermine, reminding you fur is forever.
That volcano looks a lot like the one I did for my 7th grade science fair. They're stuck tight in this tar. Maybe when real Doc comes back, we'll take a trip to see a dinosaur.
Nee, um den Pelz, den er am Hals hat. Nee, der Mensch. Aber ich weiß nicht, wie der hängt fest irgendwie. Deswegen weiß ich nicht, wie ich da abkriege. Was meint ihr denn, wie man es abkriegt? Hallo und willkommen, 11 Leute. Sehr schön. Nice to see you. When you like, you can subscribe. Or follow. So. Nice.
Times may be hard in Hill Valley, but our present worries fade into insignificance when we ponder our Pleistocene past. Is the wolf knocking at your door? Be glad he's not a Tyrannosaurus, king of the ancient lizards. And if you find yourself drowning in debt, well, you could be drowning in something a whole lot stickier, like the Hill Valley tar pits. This peek into the distant past is brought to you by Lamont's House of Urban, reminding you fur is forever.
Channel from me, Black Panther 1976. That'd be great when you make it, and we played and looking.
Doc said to tell him when the light on his diagnostic thingy went green. Nope, no green light yet. Who wears furs anymore? I kinda thought they went the way of the dinosaurs.
Nee. Ich brauche auch von Dinosaurier irgendwas gerade.
Press button to experience Hill Valley's primeval past. Okay, if this dinosaur is called a Tanninosaurus, I'm gonna... Oh, whew. Press button to experience Hill Valley's primeval past.
Mal gucken wie.
Press button to experience Hill Valley's primeval past. Maybe when real Doc comes back, we'll take a trip to see a dinosaur. They're stuck tight in this tar. I don't want to get that covered in any messy oil. Maybe not. I don't want to get that covered in any messy oil.
Was soll man machen denn? Hallo, willkommen, 13 Leute. Nice. Welcome, weg. Edna, Regiment habe ich ja schon. Ein paar Pelze, ja, die weiß ich noch nicht woher. Und ein Babyfoto von Emmett. Ja, ist okay. Das Foto habe ich auch schon. Ein paar Pelze, ja, sind auch unterhalb des High School an einem an der Highschool, sobald du die Pelze gefunden hast, nutze du etwas, um sie aus ihren momentanen klebrigen Zonen zu befreien. Ja, die Pelz habe ich ja gefunden, ist ja okay. Ist doch hier der Pelz auch nicht. Warte mal, stopp. Das ist der Vulkan, ne? Wenn ich da das nehme.
I don't want to get that covered in any messy oil. Even if I could get that fur out of the pit, I'd need something to clean the tar out of it.
Da.
I don't want to get that covered in any messy oil.
Da kannst du auch nicht.
Don't want to get that covered in any messy oil.
Benutze mit Reiniger mit den Pelzen in der Hill Valley der Vergangenheit. Habe ich doch schon. Ausstellung. Ist doch hier. Habe ich gerade gemacht.
I don't want to get that covered in any messy oil.
Achso, ich glaube, das war was anderes, ne? Ich guck mal eben. Schau mal eben kurz. Ob es einfach... Nee, er noch was anderes hat.
Agricultural advances will make it a breeze to feed our burgeoning population.
I wish the courthouse did look
Tired
like
of
that in
waiting for
1981.
Mother Nature to do her job? Just press a button. Presto! An artificial rainstorm drenches the valley's thirsty crops.
Yeah?
When does the expo
Not till
open?
tonight. Anybody without official business
Ja, ich
here,
will nur rein,
please
ja,
get
anders
off the
gucken noch.
grounds!
Ich brauche dieses komische Zeug, brauche ich noch.
Who wears furs anymore? I kind of thought they went the way of the dinosaurs.
Nee.
I see.
Hey, Doc. I mean, Mr. Sagan.
Excuse me a moment, Miss Strickland. I've got her neutralized for the moment. How's the plan proceeding on your end?
Ja, wegen... Ich...
I think I'm starting to get a plan.
Good. Tell me. No, don't. After all, it's my history we're talking about. If I learn how you're planning on altering it, my resolve may weaken.
Hallo, willkommen zurück. Welcome back.
About that gizmo you've got hooked up to the DeLorean?
The chronometric analyzer?
Yeah, the light's still red.
The analysis can take a while. Be sure to let me know when the light turns green, and I'll take her out for another test run.
It's about Edna.
Don't worry. She's not going anywhere right now.
That's good, but... Have you found out anything that can help me?
Only that she's stubborn, argumentative, and completely convinced of her own moral superiority.
Great, thanks, Doc.
Hallo,
that really
welcome
helps.
back. Nix. Hallo, willkommen zurück. Gesagt.
What are you two talking about anyway?
It's a private matter. I promised I'd keep it between us, for the present.
She isn't starting to get under your skin, is she?
Heavens no. The memory of her older self wheeling me into the reconditioning chamber is just too strong. The younger version is decidedly more attractive, though.
On another subject...
Less distasteful, I hope.
Edna made a point of saying that teenage you looked great in her grandfather's suit.
I did cut a fine figure in that suit. She hated it when I
Ich
got
versuch's ja gerade, dass mir irgendwas geben tut, aber macht er nicht. Aber was geben kann, oder das macht er aber nicht, leider.
Was Edna right when she said you had a virtuous brain?
Ja.
I do indeed. No
Ich
criminal
brauche dieses
tendencies
komische Öl,
whatsoever.
nicht Öl,
Solid
irgendwas,
citizen, through
um
and
locker zu
through.
machen,
That's how I
Lösungsmittel.
was able to go so far in
Wieder ein Pilz
politics.
rankommen an diesen, was
Ja.
festgeklebt ist.
I'm starting to
Aber,
miss Kid Tannen.
ich weiß nicht wo, das ist das Problem. Nutze Emmets Reiniger mit dem Fels in der Hill Valley der Vergangenheit. Ja, ich weiß ja, aber ich habe den Reiniger nicht. Das heißt, ich muss, glaube ich, nochmal fahren, wa? Mit dem Auto fahren. Nochmal zurück zum jüngeren Emmet. Einzige Möglichkeit, was ich mir vorstellen kann, weil sonst...
How's it hanging, Emmett?
No time for small talk. I've got machines to tune and mind maps to sort.
So. Ich brauche Lösungsmittel.
How does the mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey,
The test subject wears this mind mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that?
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe. But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Layabout? Is that machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did.
What's this?
The mind map cards from the dozens of subjects I've tested during the last few weeks. I've got to get them sorted before the expo begins.
Why?
Edna's got this grand scheme to catalog all of Hill Valley citizens by their mental alignment. Isn't
Nice
that
to see
cute?
you again.
Not really. So this machine takes those little cards and tells you whether or not someone's a good guy or bad guy?
Kind of. Actually, the helmet does all the work. The mental alignment meter is just a glorified arcade machine.
So why not just go with the cards?
Edna says that people respond well to flashing lights and snap judgments. I can't argue with that.
Hallo,
Every time I kiss her, I see
welcome.
flashing lights and lose all
So,
sense
back
of
to the
judgment.
future, episode
No
4.
kidding.
Looking... Oh. What can I do? What can I do?
Nothing happened.
Well, that button advances the slides during the mind mapping test. It only works while the test is running.
Oh. Fuck, aber... Okay. So, wie Ask Emmet. Okay, wir schauen mal nach Emmet, was der
Hey,
sagt.
Emmett, got a sec?
Why, yes. In fact, I've got several.
Bastelt irgendwas. Ja, seine Maschine, ja.
Is all this new stuff what you're showing off at the expo?
Yes, it's our mental alignment meter.
Mental alignment meter? What's a mental alignment meter?
It's the most revolutionary piece of technology since the cotton gin.
What does it do?
It reads and interprets the subconscious desires of the human mind.
Why would you want to probe people's minds?
Why wouldn't you? Imagine being able to diagnose mental disorders with a flick of a switch, or detect the truthfulness of courtroom testimony merely by connecting a witness to a small portable device.
Your machine does all that?
Not yet. Frankly, right now the whole thing's just a gussied-up potentiometer. But with years of refinements and a whole lot of investors, the MAM will be able to identify countless psychosis and neurosis, alcoholism, acrophobia, Oedipal complexes.
And?
And then we can set about curing them, of course.
Of course. Anyway. Can't believe you invented all this in 2 months.
Well, like I said, there's not really a whole lot of inventing going on here. I just dressed up a $5 potentiometer with a lot of bells and whistles.
But
don't get me wrong, it does a remarkable job of telling whether a subject is currently liking or disliking what they're experiencing. But all the extra stuff about sorting out criminals from model citizens is mostly a bunch of hooey at this point.
Ja, weiß dich mal selber, ey.
How are things between you and your father? I'm kind of surprised he hasn't torn down your lab yet.
He's still angry with me and threatening to cut me out of his will, but I'm hoping that the civic potential of my mental alignment meter will win him over.
Tragisch. So. Warum die neuen Klamotten?
What's with the new
Ja, warum die
threads?
neuen Klamotten?
You like them?
You look like Colonel Sanders.
Who?
Never mind.
Edna gave them to me. She says my usual clothes don't have enough zing for a public exhibition.
What do you say we take a break for a couple of hours and go see a movie?
A couple of hours?
Actually, it may be more like 70 minutes.
I haven't got a couple of hours. I still got all these mind maps to sort, and the MAM wiring is still giving me fits, and...
I get it, you're busy.
Nee, ich will ja, dass er sich selbst testet, aber irgendwie macht das nicht. Ah. Weiß nicht.
Did you make a mind map of yourself?
Of course. Take a look.
Edna's right. You are a model citizen.
At least as far as my invention's concerned. Confidentially, this whole enterprise is a little light on the hard science and a little heavy on the smoke and mirrors.
You look busy.
Okay, dann schauen wir mal nach dem
later.
Sure thing.
Fakt von ihm.
Tannen's mind map. If Emmett's map looked like this, I bet Edna wouldn't think he's such a model citizen. If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I better replace it with another one.
Ich habe doch hier... Nee, ich habe keine gekriegt. Ich dachte, ich hätte eine gekriegt jetzt.
How goes the bacteria farm?
Not so hot. The
Nee, aber
bacteria
kann
have
ich
kind
gucken.
of gotten out of control.
Oh, no.
I had to put a clamp on the nitrogen tube to keep the stench
Ja,
from flooding the
ja,
lab.
gut. Will ich auch nicht. Was ist das da hinten?
This thing reads Emmett's mind maps.
Ja, das haben wir schon gehabt. Ich dachte, das wäre anders gewesen.
Mind if I...
Go ahead. Ah, that'd be Mr. Needleman's card. I'll just put this in the stack with the other hooligans.
Okay. Hab ich die jetzt? Nee. Nee, ich will ja eine Karte haben. Aber ich komme nicht an die Karte dran, die ich haben will.
Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.
Yeah, about 90% of Hill Valley thus far. It's a little disturbing.
This thing reads Emmett's mind maps.
Hä? Naja.
This thing reads Emmett's mind maps.
Nee, aber ich will ja die Karte haben. Ich komme nicht an die scheiß Karte dran, ey.
Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.
About 90% of Hill Valley thus far.
Ja,
A
habe ich schon
little
gedacht. Ja.
disturbing.
What's this typewriter do again?
During a mental alignment test, it takes messages from the mind map helmet and turns them into punch cards. Like the one for Mr. Tannen over there.
Seems complicated.
Actually, it was all rather easy to put together. Once Edna gave me the idea.
Sounds to me like you should be working on harder problems then.
What? Sorry, I've got to get back to work. I'd be careful of that if I were you.
Why?
The rocket fuel experiment must have stripped one of the teeth in the hand crank. As a consequence, if you turn it for more than 10 seconds, it... Ow! Sends out an electric shock.
Das habe ich schon einen Stromschlag gegeben. Auch gut. Nee, er hat einen Stromschlag gegeben ihm.
Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.
About 90% of Hill Valley thus far.
Ah, was soll ich
A
machen?
little
Ich
disturbing.
mochte die Zeug doch haben, aber... Tja. Emmets... So, weiter geht's. Vielleicht würde ein erneuter Test zu einem anderen Ergebnis führen. Okay.
This button only works while the mind map test is active. I wonder if I could run a mental affinity test without Emmett realizing it.
Oh.
They say I'm crazy, got no sense, but I don't care. They may or may not mean offense, but I don't care. You see, I'm sort of independent. I am my own superintendent.
Neuer Test. Gucken, ob es jetzt klappt. Anscheinend, das hat geklappt. Gott sei Dank. Ja, hin und her. So, mal gucken. Ah, jetzt geht was
According to
anderes.
Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.
About
Huh?
90% of Hill Valley thus far.
Nein, ich will
A little
ein
disturbing.
anderes Zeichen von der Image haben, deswegen. Ein Test, andere Karte, wie auch immer.
Emmett?
Yeah? Hey, how'd my mind map test get activated?
You get back to work.
Okay.
We'll catch up later.
Thanks.
Was? Nein. Der Test ist erst fertig gemacht. Der Test war eben noch nicht fertig, jetzt ist er fertig, deswegen kann ich jetzt dran gehen an den Test. Weiß ich nicht.
According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps.
Scheiß Karte kriege ich nicht da raus, ey, ich glaub's nicht. Immer neue Probleme.
This thing reads Emmett's mind maps. According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps.
Ah, no.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Oh.
Du tanzt immer bei Musik.
Emmett's invention makes him out to be... This button only works while the mind map test is
Klappt noch
active.
nicht. Scheiße.
Don't
Sorry.
turn it off. This is my favorite part.
Nun kann ich ja nicht, gibt keine Hilfe mehr.
Don't touch that.
Ja, hab ich auswählt schon. Schwierig alles, ey, hier, Mann.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Mann. Was machen wir jetzt hier? Rumlaufen und gucken.
Hey, could we watch Frankenstein on this?
Sorry, Michael, but I need this projector to trigger positive and negative visual stimuli for my mental alignment tests. Besides, a movie like Frankenstein should really be watched on a big screen, don't you think?
When this is all over, I better make sure to get Emmett's photo album back to him.
That smells good. Oh.
Hey, ich will gucken, dass ich alles auf grün kriege. Das ist doch nicht so einfach. Das ist Hilfe, aber ich habe schon gedrückt, ich habe schon ausprobiert alles.
Hey there, you stinky little bacteria.
Once the expo's over, I'll need to upgrade the mental alignment test to account for stray sensory stimuli.
Ew.
Falsch. Ja. Aber so schwierige Sachen immer. Benutze, hallo, willkommen. Nutze Emmets Eintopf. Die. Ja, aber das bringt ja alles nicht. Ich weiß das doch alles. Ich weiß die Reihenfolge kenne ich doch nicht. Mann. Die richtige Reihenfolge und die richtigen Sachen drücken. Das ist das Problem. Ach, Mann. So.
Ah.
Grün, so. Ist an. Jetzt muss ich was Negatives machen. Oder das versuchen. So. Und so, und jetzt versuchen wir mal die Algensuppe.
That smells good.
Grün. Positiv.
Ew. According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Auf ein neues. So. Das da
Oh.
krieg ich grün hin. So. Grün leuchtet. So, jetzt muss ich es aufzeichnen.
How can I get Emmett to have reactions that are the opposite of those expected of a model citizen?
So, dann. Was mir auch gut gefallen hat, war der Geruch vom Essen, ne?
Careful. Don't let all the flavor escape.
So, und jetzt was Negatives.
Ew.
So. Okay.
Wait, I know that. That's John Wilkes Booth, the guy that shot Lincoln. So, I guess he's supposed to be a negative figure.
Er hat Lincoln erschossen, anscheinend. So, also positive Sachen. Was er mag, ist die Musik hier. So, Musik.
Ah, that's the stuff.
So. Und jetzt soll ich, was soll ich jetzt mal grün?
Emmett's invention makes him out to be a model citizen, huh?
Grün soll ich
Well,
machen. Also
we'll just
grün
see
wäre,
about that.
die Suppe zum Beispiel ist grün. Die mag er gerne. Dann kriege ich grün hin.
That smells good.
It's Danny Parker. He's a cop, so I guess he's supposed to get a positive response from model citizens.
Ja. Okay, jetzt schauen wir nochmal.
Don't
Das
touch
da.
that.
Grün.
I guess it needs time to get boiling again.
Nee. Das mag er gar nicht.
Ew.
Gelb. Gelb. Ich will was Rotes haben, aber so. Habe ich Rot, Grün und Gelb.
Ew.
Oh.
Rot. Rot testen wir jetzt auch. So. Aber jetzt alles gelb. Ja. Gelb. Gelb, gelb. Danke.
Ah, that smells much better.
Oh Mann, ich komme nicht weiter, das ist doof, echt. Ich hänge gerade fast fest. Hallo? Hallo, willkommen
Once the
zurück.
expo's over, I'll need to upgrade the mental alignment test to account for stray sensory stimuli. Don't touch that! That smells good.
So, grün. Gelb. Gelb.
Still not boiling yet.
Don't touch that!
Ja, ist ja gut.
According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps.
Grün muss ich machen, ja.
Ew. This button only works while the mind map test is active. Ew. This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Ich hab ein Kabel genommen.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Oh.
Ne, immer noch nicht. Ich hänge mir noch fest. Irgendwie. Aber ich habe schon mal so eine Szene gehabt, wo es so schwer war. Und die zweite Mal, wo es so schwer
How can I
war.
get Emmett to
Vorher
have
schon.
reactions that are the opposite of those expected of a model citizen?
That smells good.
Ja, ist nix.
According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps.
Du hast gerade gerufen. Du hast gerade gerufen.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Ja.
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I better replace it with another one.
Will ich ja machen, Mensch, aber das ist nicht so einfach. Nein.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Oh.
Grün. So, wir haben jetzt grün.
Emmett's
Dann machen
invention
wir
makes
jetzt-
him out to be a model citizen, huh? Well,
Aber jetzt
we'll just see
rot.
about that. Ew.
Rot.
That smells good.
Ein bisschen vielleicht. Grün. Immer noch grün. So, was war hier? Gibt es irgendeinen Hinweis? Du hast Emmett einen Gedanken unterzogen. Aber was sagt er über ihn aus? Stelle dir Gedankenkarte in den Mantel und ja das Ergebnis anzusehen. Ja, aber ich habe die Karte doch gar nicht.
According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.
About 90% of Hill Valley thus far.
Hallo, willkommen
Disturbing.
zurück, welcome back. Nice to see you again here. Ah, can one help me? I don't know what I can do.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
I must play. Ich muss die Musik anmachen. So. Na. Musik anmachen.
Oh.
So. Nein, nein. So, das testen wir jetzt mal.
Let's
Karte.
try this again.
Das war die erste Karte. So. Gelb. Mhm. So, nochmal. Und jetzt machen wir hier mal das da.
Ew. This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Once the expo's over, I'll need to upgrade the mental alignment test to account for stray sensory stimuli.
So.
Oh.
So. What can I do now? So, das ist dann das hier.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Ist ja aktiviert. So, machen wir das hier mal. So,
That smells good.
grün. So, Testdings nutzen. Die gleiche. Nein, gelb.
That smells good.
Geht's ja wieder nicht. Doch, grün. Zweite, so. So. Und jetzt... Da nochmal.
Ew.
Rot. So. Nee, gelb. Das heißt... Nochmal hier.
Hey there, you stinky little bacteria.
So.
Ew.
Bakterien. Rot.
Guess it's already stinky enough in here.
So, mal hier das Ding aufmachen. So.
Ah,
Ist das wieder grün? Gelb erstmal? Ja. Okay, und halt gelb. So, dann wieder drauf drücken. So. Gelb.
According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. How can I get Emmett to have reactions that are the opposite of those expected of a model citizen?
So.
oh.
Das wird grün, ja. So.
Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.
Yeah, about 90% of Hill Valley thus far.
Yeah.
It's a little disturbing.
According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. This button only works while the mind map test is active.
So. Da machen wir hier das Scheiß an hier. So, nochmal.
Ew.
So, dann schneller drücken. Das wäre was Rotes, ja. So. Auf. Zack.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
That smells good.
So,
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
ja. So.
This button only works while the mind map test is active.
Und ich hänge schon wieder viel zu lange an den Ding ran. Das ist doof.
Oh.